story to my discourse paper, Romancing the Market. It's a paper that was a long time coming. It emerged really from 27 years working in schools and also working as a policy activist with others, other similar-minded people who were concerned about the way in which schooling produced and reproduced particular kinds of inequitable outcomes, the way in which young people, particular groups of young people, missed out on the benefits of education. And I guess over time what happened was that conversations in various kinds of policy gatherings increasingly turned to outcomes, to demonstrations of how well things were going or how badly, a requirement to show that improvement was actually happening. And during those conversations there was a kind of both an elevation and a narrowing of what counted as an equitable outcome, and a narrowing of the notion of equity to get rid of discussion about purposes and practices and other kinds of intangible questions like identity, for example. And so, you know, it's that kind of concern that motivated this paper. How did this come to be? How did equity get to be kind of corralled in the way that it is? And now, of course, how is it that equity actually acts as a kind of legitimation for particular kinds of curriculum and testing regimes, which certainly in the UK have particular kinds of toxic effects, very toxic in England, but also, you know, increasingly in other parts of the world we can see these same kinds of policy regimes playing out. And so this paper is a think piece. It's not the result of a research project. It's the result of me trying to make meaning, of me trying to work out what's actually going on. And so I mobilise narrative theory, not a kind of theory of discourse, to bring to the problem of how equity has ceased to be, if it ever was, but how it is now certainly framed by economic and political narratives and imperatives, as opposed to certainly where I think it should be, which is the normative framing narrative for politics and economics and for everyday life. So I'm really trying to understand the subservient place of equity policy and how it's come to mean particular things in particular places at this point in time.